guy. Is that guy that pitched for you guys tonight? Is he now an LSU legend?
Yeah, I mean, people will know his name for a long time. I mean, they're completely different guys, pitch different styles, but I think him and postgame can go next to each other, Not saying that shouldn't be compared to begin with, but I feel like both of them have done their fair share here, and I mean, I couldn't be more proud of Kade for tonight.
I know you're not a pitcher. Did you ever pitch at any point?
A little in high school, but not much,
But you've been around the game a long time. I mean, how do you just sort of fathom a guy, Game 1, College World Series, Championship Series, he goes out, he limits the opposing team to just 3 hits, he strikes out 10, he pitches the whole game.
Yeah.
Can you even fathom that?
No, but I mean, considering what Kade's done, I can believe it. He's worked his butt off since day one of being here. This summer that they had gotten here, Kade is a freshman. I saw him and Jake Brown playing catch. I mean, didn't even have to be at school yet, and I saw him and Jake Brown playing catch in the outfield, and I was like, all right, we got some grinders coming in, But he works his butt off, even recovery, across the weight room. I'm not surprised, to be honest. He's a great kid. Couldn't be more happy for his success.
Offensively for your guys, only 6 hits tonight. Just kind of, I guess, walk me through that. What you feel like worked kind of well, and what maybe didn't?
I mean, sometimes baseball's hard. I mean, that's not a explanation for how bad we played or limited our success. But game's hard. There's a lot of people here. Good team, obviously. Good pitchers on the mound. Can't ever take that away from them. Sometimes it's just not your night.
Just overall, what was the experience like? It's Game 1, there's 25, almost 26,000 people in here. It looked like a 93-7 split LSU fans versus Coastal. I mean, did it feel like a home game in a way?
Yeah. I mean, it felt like a home football game, honestly. The national anthem, when they started chanting, I mean, I felt like it was louder than a football game, especially with the Jets flying over and stuff. But, I mean, when you have that kind of support behind you, it's insane. I mean, Louisiana's not close, so when you get that many fans to come here, it means a lot, Couldn't be more happy than them coming up here, and supporting us.
You're a Louisiana guy. What Kade did tonight, where does that rank in the annals of LSU baseball? Is he, I mean, it had to have been a legendary performance tonight, right?
I mean, I think it's probably one of the best performances from any Louisiana pitcher ever. To go out there and for him to not have his A+ stuff in the first couple innings and just hold him to 3 hits and work around a couple of guys getting on base, it was just super impressive. From the dugout to the pen, just watching them go pitch by pitch, it was electric every pitch. And it's like, I feel like they didn't really stand a chance, even though it was a 1-run game. It was like, we kind of knew, like, all right, we get into that 9th inning, the game's over. So it was electric tonight.
Yeah, when you're watching a guy perform the way he did, like at what point in the game did you guys in the dugout, even out in the pen, you go, I mean, I'm getting warm, but I don't think I'm going to be needed tonight.
Yeah, I was down there and I was throwing and I looked up and I was like, dang, we're in the 9th inning already? I was thinking we got a little bit more, and it's like, he kind of just kept cruising through, and it's like, you kind of get in the pen, you feel no pressure at all to kind of go out there and fill it up when you need to. And like I said, you look up and you're like, damn, he's in the 9th inning already? And it's like, all right, the game's over, basically. So it gives us a lot of confidence just to know he has the stuff to go the entire way.
What can you, when you're observing, what can you learn from Kade and from a performance like that?
A lot of first pitch strikes and just not letting things kind of stray away from him. He seems like he's always under a great composure, and he's an elite competitor, so he wants to get ahead and wants to go at guys right away. And when he got people on base, it was like nothing really happened to him, and he just kept competing through the entire night.
He's not going to have to pitch for a while, but what are your thoughts on just that performance tonight?
I think his performance tonight truly defines what an LSU Tiger is. I mean, he stepped up when we needed him the most. Super tough, didn't have his best stuff coming out to start, but ultimately was able to dial it in and go and probably have one of the best performances I've ever seen, if not the best performance I've ever seen on the biggest stage. So that was awesome. Super happy for him.
Did he walk in here in the locker room and say that wasn't pretty?
Yeah, so I have this pencil in my ear. I'm a correspondent for the Pencil Talk podcast tonight, and so I was interviewing him, and I asked him, I was like, hey, didn't have your best stuff. What type of mentality does it take to get back in there and get it done? And he said, yeah, well, it wasn't really pretty, but I was able to get the job done. So I had to remind him that, hey, you just threw was it 10 or 11 strikeout, complete game shutout in Omaha. I don't know when that's not pretty, so that's his words, not mine. Whoa.
What gets to say out here?
That's his words, not mine. I thought it was pretty good, and I give him more crap than anyone in the world, and that was a pretty outing.
What is it about Kade's makeup that allows him to thrive and be successful on the biggest stage?
I mean, he just throws 4 pitches for strikes whenever. I mean, the moment's never too big for him. At the end of the day, he knows that he's standing 60 foot, 6 inches away from the catcher, and that when he's on, there's not much that you can do against him, and I think that showed tonight.
One win from a national championship. Tell me what that feels like.
It's awesome. I mean, definitely going to enjoy the moment right now, but ultimately got to move on, come out ready tomorrow, and hopefully celebrate after.
Offensively for you guys, what do you feel like worked well? What do you feel like you didn't work well tonight?
We were able to do just enough to win the game, and we're not always going to have it. I mean, baseball is a hard game. Thankfully, we had Kade on the other side picking us up.
I'm sure you can ask about Kade, but just, I mean, it's a 1-0 game. For him to handle the pressure of that, knowing that it's such a small margin of error, how do you see him kind of handle that?
Yeah, I mean, 1 run for us, especially that late in the game with Kade on the mound, when he's rolling the way that he is, it almost feels like we have a 3-run lead. I mean, towards the end of the game, their at-bat started slowly getting worse and worse, and I think that's just a testament to how good Kade is. He was trying to make him do too much, and he can't do that against Kade.
How about the defense you guys played around in as well? I mean, Michael, a couple of amazing plays, Daniel with a hell of a scoop.
Yeah, I mean, tip of the cap to those guys. I mean, that's what it takes to win at this level, and I think we put more emphasis on infield defense than anybody in the country, and that showed today. We were able to help Kade out when he wasn't punching out guys, which wasn't very often, but when we had the opportunity to make plays, we made them.
After seeing him throw the gem like that, does it make you miss pitching?
No, I'm glad that he's out there doing it because I wouldn't have been nearly that good.
Is Kade an LSU legend?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to say that he wouldn't be an LSU legend. I mean, 2 of the best outings I've ever seen in Omaha on top of what he's done the whole year. I mean, that dude's going to be selected very high in this year's draft, and he'll be a Tiger forever.
What does it say about how they make them in the league?
I know we've since we've just been in Omaha the last week and a half or so. I know we've peppered you with some questions about Kade Anderson already, but like it just seems like we ask him questions, he goes out and betters what he did the time before. So now we have to ask you more questions about Kade Anderson. So what do you want to say about that guy?
He's the man. You know, very blessed to be on a team with him. Very happy I don't have to face him, and you know, it's just amazing to see him go do his thing all the time. You know, hats off to him.
Just talked with Jake, and he said that, like, you know, in a 1-run game, late in it with Kade on the mound, it feels like a 3-run, lead for you guys. Does it feel the same for you?
Yeah, it does. You know, and like as a defender playing behind him, you know, I'm always on my P's and Q's because he's working so hard out there for us. Got to make plays for him, but it definitely feels comfortable. You know, he's gonna be in the zone and attack guys.
Offensively for you guys tonight, what are the takeaways that you guys will carry over till tomorrow?
Yeah, you know, I thought the Coastal guys did a good job of getting ahead and making pitches. I think for us, you know, we just got to get the bat moving a little bit earlier and get our pitches. But I think, you know, we battled really well tonight against some good arms, and Monster had a great swing in the first. Derek had a good AB and getting on base, and there were some other guys in there. I know JB had a hit, but, you know, baseball is hard, and just grinding out at bats and finding a way to score is most important.
What did you just make of the atmosphere tonight? What did it feel like out there? How did it sound? What would you remember about Game 1 of the College World Series championship final?
Yeah, the atmosphere was, I honestly can't even put it into words. It was so loud. I remember the LSU after the national anthem. That's something I'll never forget, you know, just how loud that was. And the LSU fans will bring it all the time, you know, so it's just amazing to see, and very thankful and happy to be here.
About 4 minutes.
Obviously, I know you didn't pitch tonight, but it makes you feel any better. None of your other guys outside of Kade pitched tonight, so what was it like watching that?
Yeah, I mean, Kade's been doing that all year, it feels like. Just prepares the right way, competes at a high level. Everyone around him trusts him. A great guy. Just happy for him. Really happy for him.
What can you guys, I asked Jacob this, like when you're observing and you're watching him work through, you know, what some feels like, you know, jams where it's sticky situations, or, you know, when he's working his way through a lineup and he's working his way through innings like that, like, is there things that you guys can pick up and can learn in those moments?
Yeah, I think his composure is the number one thing. The moment never really gets too big for him. He kind of is able to slow down, continue to make pitches, because, I mean, it really is all about execution, trying to get the hitter out, so I think he just does a really good job of that.
When when your starting pitcher goes out there and throws a complete game, you guys have at least one more game, if not potentially two here, right? Like from a bullpen, from a pitching staff perspective, like, I mean, you guys can do just about anything you want, right, over the course of the next 2 games?
Yeah, we can. It gives us a lot of flexibility. It just allows us to go out there and compete, really. So, yeah, it's great.
What did you make of the atmosphere? Game 1, College World Series Championship Final. What was it like out there?
I thought the first game we played when we got here was something, but tonight was crazy. Just trying to soak it all in, really. Appreciate it. I mean, nothing really beats it, so